Okay, who here hasn't been to space? Why? You better not throw up on my ship.
Approaching jump in 3, 2, 1.
Jason Momoa and the things going on with Jason Momoa. We've obviously been talking about DC for the last year. We've been talking a lot about DC within the last year, but specifically within the past 2 to 3 months, we've been talking a lot about James Gunn's reboot for DC Studios. And there have been a lot of reports and rumors swirling around DC since. But one of those rumors that we've been hearing, and we kind of heard this, I want to say we kind of heard about this before James Gunn started to announce the reboot. And that was that Jason Momoa would be playing the main man, Lobo. And I'm like everyone else. It fits. He's perfect for the role. So I like the fact that that has been put out there. I like the fact that it's seemingly not even a rumor anymore. It's just inevitably supposed to be happening. We're just, going to be waiting on James Gunn to announce their 10-year plan here coming up. But last week, Momoa had a meeting with David Zaslav, Peter Safran, and James Gunn, and he was pretty excited once he left the meeting. And we didn't talk about this last week, but I'm going to go ahead and show this video where he was excited about it.
Just 4 years ago, I had the Jeep out front. No, I don't want you. I was 4 years ago. I was screaming, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Screaming when I left Warner Brothers. Right? Everyone's in the meeting. 4 years again. It's a mystery, baby. We got, I got some really good news. Great news with Warner Brothers. Amazing. Wish I could tell you, but here it is. Peter, I love you. James, I love you. David. Okay. Mwah. To the future, to the future. Baby! Picture me rolling.
Okay, so as you can see, he's pretty excited about the things going on with Warner Brothers, with DC. He's happy about it. And I'm pretty sure whatever they talked about, whatever was discussed, it has to be the simple fact that he is no longer going to be Aquaman. He's going to be moving into being Lobo. But Jason Momoa also did an interview here with Variety, and I will go ahead and put that to where you guys can see that as well. He did an interview with Variety, and in that interview with Variety, I want to make sure that I'm getting exactly what he said. In that interview with Variety, he said that, well, he kind of somewhat hinted that there was a possibility that he could be playing another character or multiple characters. Obviously, we know that he's more than likely playing the main man, Lobo, but he hinted that he could be playing multiple characters outside of just playing Lobo. This is what he said. He said, one thing, well, this is from Variety, one thing coming is Momoa's second standalone Aquaman movie, Aquaman in the Lost Kingdom. There's also rumors that Momoa will be playing a different superhero character, Lobo, in the new DC universe under Gunn and Safran. Momoa would not confirm such rumors, but he did say there might be other characters coming from him down the line regarding DC. I'll always be Aquaman. Ain't anyone coming in there and taking shit. There might be some other characters too. I can play other things too. I can be funny and savage and charming. And again, that is coming from Variety, where he said that there. And honestly, when this adds to the list of questions that I have. This adds to the list of questions I have in regards to the DC reboot. Could we possibly be seeing Jason Momoa playing different characters in the DC universe? Either when he says, I'm always going to be Aquaman, either he's saying that in the same way that we say Mark Hamill will always be the Joker, even though he's saying he's stepping down as the Joker. Either it's kind of like one of those deals where it's like, okay, no matter what, regardless of Mark Hamill stepping down, he's still always going to be the Joker. That's his, blah, 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 blah. It could be one of those legacy things with Momoa that he's talking about. Like, no one's ever going to come in here and be the Aquaman that I was. I'm Aquaman, things like that. Or it could be the very real fact that he is playing Aquaman and playing the main man, Lobo. And which, again, begs the question, if that is what's going on, that puts that that puts Jason Momoa now in the same conversation with Zachary Levi. It puts Jason Momoa in the same conversations as Ezra Miller, in the same conversations as Henry Cavill. If you're going to do a reboot, you're keeping, the rumor is, at least right now, because we don't know, because James Gunn has not come out and given us a 10-year plan or given definitive answers to some things, but the rumor right now is that Zachary Levi is going to continue as Shazam. We got a very vague answer from James Gunn when asked about Ezra Miller continuing on as the Flash, even though I really don't think that that's happening. But to keep Peacemaker, to keep some of the Suicide Squad members that we've seen and heard that they're going to be keeping and things like that, but you get rid of Gal, you get rid of Henry Cavill, you get rid of some of these, like especially Henry Cavill, you get rid of that, you get rid of Henry Cavill as Superman, but you're willing to keep on. If that's true, if that's what Jason Momoa was meaning, you're willing to keep Momoa on as Aquaman, willing to keep Levi on as Shazam. It just gets really weird to me. I think that if you're going to do a reboot, then reboot. I don't think it needs to be some half reboot or a reboot where I just keep the things that I like. I think that you need to completely do a reboot because the entire universe needs it. That's no secret. We all know that. The entire universe needed a reboot. But again, you're going to piss fans off when you get rid of Henry Cavill, who we've all been wanting back for over a decade, but you keep some of these others. Again, if you're going to do a reboot, do a reboot. But I digress because we've talked about that at length before. And prayerfully, a lot of those questions are going to get answered when James Gunn and Peter Safran get up here with time winding down, because I did see that James Gunn tweeted out, someone asked him about when's he going to announce the 10-year plan, and he said, what he said, I think he said we're not even 3/4 way into January, and he said this over the, last week, sir. There's 8 days left in January. So I'm assuming this week should be the week that we get news from James Gunn, Peter Safran, Zaslav, and the rest of them about what is going on with the rebooted now DC Studios. So we should be getting a look at that 8 to 10 year plan here coming up. But however, as I've said before, I think Momoa is perfect as Lobo, and I'll even show this. I'm sure a lot of people have already seen this, but I'll even show this. I think Momoa is perfect as Lobo. I think he's going to do a great job, if that is truly, not if, I mean, we all know, I mean, all signs point to Lobo. There was the image that James Gunn shared a couple months ago of the Lobo poster and things like that, kind of hinting at Momoa and whatever like that. So, and Lobo is right up Gunn's alley as well, as far as the type of stories he could tell, the type of characters that he likes to tell stories with. Lobo is right up that alley, and I can where you see Jason Momoa in that quote from Variety where he said, I can be funny, I can be charming, I can be savage. That is the main man. That's Lobo. I mean, that Lobo is savage. He can be charming. There's lots of moments where Lobo is funny, but he's also very terrifying in moments. So I think I love this image of the fan art here that they've done of Momoa as Lobo here, and there's so many other fan arts of him. But I think that he is going to be Lobo. I thought that this newest quote from Variety was pretty interesting. Again, that was my first time seeing the video of him talking about the meeting he had. I remember seeing the video everywhere. I just didn't watch it, but I remember seeing the video everywhere. But this was my first time seeing it. So I really think that the news he got is that he's going to be Lobo and moving on with whatever reboot or version of a reboot that DC is doing with James Gunn and Peter Safran. But as always, I do leave the question for you guys. Let me know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking. What do you guys are thinking is going to come of DC and the reboot and the things that James Gunn is going to hopefully announce here in the coming days? And what are you guys thinking of the video and the newest quote from Jason Momoa with him saying, hey, I will always be Aquaman. No one's coming here and taking that shit from me. Is that him just speaking on his legacy of Aquaman? Or are you thinking he's actually going to be Aquaman and possibly even Lobo moving on into the future of the DCU? So let me know down below in the comments what you guys are thinking.